What's up guys, how you all doing? Welcome to another video. So today we're talking again about the Canon R7. Specifically, we're talking about my one concern with the Canon R7. The one thing that makes me feel a bit nervous about this camera. We've done quite a few videos now on this channel talking about how good I think the Canon R7 is going to be. And please understand, I absolutely think it's going to be good. The specs that I've seen from that camera, some of the hands-on reviews I've started to see on YouTube, the price that it's going to be, I think it's going to be an outstanding camera, and it really is going to give like some professional level specs for a very, very good price. But we've now got access to some raw files shot on the Canon R7. Jared Poland, better known to a lot of you guys as FroKnowsPhoto.com has released a video all about the Canon R7, and he has been shooting and got access to some raw files which he has very kindly made available to all of us. You can download them through the link in the description of his video. Now I'm going to link the video that he did in the description of my video, so make sure you go check out his video, and then you can download the files for yourself if you want to. But I've been downloading them and I've had a look, and I've got some of them open right here on the laptop, and I thought we would have a little bit of a look at them. The hot topic around these Canon R7 files is of course all to do with low light performance and whether or not the noise levels are going to be good enough when you start getting to those higher ISO levels. Well, you know what? One of the photos that Jared Poland had was an indoor sports photo, indoor football, shot around the same kind of settings I would use, 1,000th of a second, f2.8, and he got the ISO up to 4,000. So we're going to check that out and see what we think of the noise level in the photo. So look, let's get into looking at these files. Now the first one we've got, this one actually was shot at ISO 1600. Now the first thing to say, the actual file looks really clean. Now when you move in and look around the eye, the detail on this is really, really cool. Around kind of the eye, and you can see sort of, you know, some of the detail in the feathers, and that's really great. So the actual file itself looks really nice. You can see a little bit of grain in there at 1600 ISO, but look, I'm not too worried about that at this stage. I'm not going to go through every single one of the files that he's got. You can have a look at them there. Let's just move on one though. Let's look at this other bird here. Now the thing that got me with this one, again, if we zoom in kind of on the eye and then look along the beak here, the detail on this is really good, right? The image quality here is cool. I'm really impressed with that. So again, I'm talking about the image quality you're going to be able to get with that price point. Really, really good. This file here is only ISO 640, so there's no concern with noise there. There's a few other files here, but look, no messing around. Let's get into the indoor sports, the indoor football photo. Now, straight away when you come into the photo, it's slightly underexposed. And I suppose that's the first thing that strikes me here, is that this was shot at ISO 4000. And actually, realistically, in this kind of environment, I would quite regularly be at maybe 6400, maybe even 8000 ISO. So 4000 isn't that much of a test compared to where I might need to get this camera. But let's have a look. If we just zoom straight in on the photo as it is, it's a bit underexposed. And look, straight away, right, you can see grain, you can see noise in the image. If we play with the exposure slightly, let's just bring up the exposure a little bit. Let's tweak the highlights and the shadows and get it to kind of where I would want it to be. Then arguably it looks a bit better, but still that noise is there. Now, two things for this. I suppose the bit which I'm going to say the positive side to this is there is still a load of detail in the face of that guy there. There isn't a loss of detail within that noise. The photo itself and the image quality is decent. What worries me a bit is that the noise level is quite high. I didn't expect it to be as good as my R6. I didn't expect it to be as good as my 1DX. And I would say at first glance, it's definitely not as good as those two cameras. My worry is that this is ISO 4000. What happens when we start shooting this camera at ISO 6400, 8000, maybe even 10,000 ISO, as I have done before with my Canon R6? What are those files going to look like? Are they going to be usable? That is my concern. And to be honest, the only real way to tell that is going to be to get hold of a camera. And what I will say, and perhaps the thing to reassure you guys, is it certainly hasn't put me off. I'm definitely getting hold of a Canon R7, and you will see right here on this channel a Canon R7 versus an R6 video. I'm definitely going to do an R7 versus a 7D Mark II video, and if we think it might be popular, maybe I'll also do an R7 against a 1DX just for the comparison. We'll shoot some similar environments, some different ISO levels, and we'll see what it's like. So you guys will see that right here on the channel very, very soon. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already to catch out that video. As I said, if you do want to see these files for yourself, make sure you go check out Jared Poland's video, Phronos Photo, in the description below. Download the files for yourself. You can get them into Lightroom. They're actually DNG files. You can get those in, you can have a look at them in Lightroom for yourself. Everything else though, right? The specs of that camera, the performance, the speed, the autofocus, I think it's going to be so good. So I'm not worried. I'm still going to get hold of one, going to give it a good test. But the one thing that does concern me is that ISO low light performance. I'm really interested to see what it's like once I've got one in hand. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, do me a favour, hit the like button, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already for all of the future R7 videos. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.